Well, it's time now to welcome a man who is hot as fish grease right now in the boxing world. Not only did he train a fighter that's one of the most popular in the world, but he has a long list of fighters from Hall of Famers to current champions, but it does not stop there. This man is a former track athlete that really had me doing push-ups before I came in here because he looks like he can still get out there and run the 110 or the 55-meter hurdles that he won NCAA titles doing. Folks, I'm talking about none other than the man who's known for his player sunglasses. My man, Larry Wade, how you doing, brother?
Hey, man, everything is great. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for allowing me to be on your show.
I appreciate you coming in, kind of fit me in the schedule, because you are absolutely everywhere, from Jake Paul to going to Hall of Fame inductees, ceremonies and whatnot. Right off the top, I gotta ask you, the experience that you had with Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, like what was that circus event like?
Listen, I've been part of a lot of big shows. I mean, top fights, even in there with Canelo, with other guys like that, with guys like Caleb Plant and Sean Porter and Badu Jack, top shows in some of the biggest arenas. There was nothing like what we saw with Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. Nothing. We're talking about 75,000 people in a stadium.
That's bananas.
That's crazy. So it was loud, it was a lot of energy, it was a lot of fun. But you know, to be honest with you, we were so locked in and focused on what we were doing that we didn't really feel it until it was over. But man, it was crazy.
So how did you end up connecting with Jake Paul?
You know what's so funny? I actually ended up commentating for ESPN when he fought Tommy Fury.
Okay.
Right? And he lost. So what ended up happening was, like a month later after that event, I get a phone call from someone from his team. And they asked me, was I interested in working with Jake Paul? And at that time, honestly, I wasn't sure. And what
he's
they
a YouTuber and all, you never know what he's about.
No, at that point he had proven to me that he was a boxer.
Okay.
He had done enough work. He had committed to it. And when I commentated about him, I knew that much.
Okay.
Right. So I have respect for him there, but I wasn't sure because I had a big roster myself. At that time, I had 11 fighters in 2023, and I got 6 world titles in 2023. So I wasn't sure. And then they said, hey, we want you to come down and interview.
Oh, to interview.
And
you called me, brother? What you talking about interview?
You know, but it was unique because I never done an interview before. Usually my resume speaks for itself, but I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did. Once I went to Puerto Rico, which is where he lives, I had a chance to sit down with him and listen to some of the things he had to say, which made me buy into the whole concept. And he gave me 3 things that really stood out to me that made me want to be part of his journey. One was, he said that he wanted to be a world champion.
Okay, wow.
And I'm sitting here looking at him like, okay, you want to be a world champion? This is a guy who did not come from the sport.
Yeah, hadn't been boxing for 20 years like a lot of these guys.
Yeah, that was one of the things. The second thing was, he said to me, which impacted me the most, he said, don't lie to me, never lie to me. Because I guess a previous team told him he was ready for the Tommy Fury fight, and when the fight didn't go his direction, someone mentioned, well, we knew you weren't ready anyway.
Oh, wow.
And he was upset because
I'd be upset too.
He's like, this is what I'm being told. He was upset because it's like, I listen to you, I trust you. I didn't come from this sport. So as my trainers, I'm expecting for you to give me the information.
Yeah.
And that was one of the major things. And then one of the last things was, I'll work. Don't be afraid to push me. And as a trainer, for all those who are trainers, we love that. When you tell me I'm not afraid to work, oh, we're gonna be there. So when he did that, I decided, hey, this young man got the heart, he got the work ethic. Why can't he? Athletically, he's amazing. So I wanted to be on board, and that's when I made the decision to be there, and he decided to sign me up.
Man, so I wonder about this really. What is something about him that folks don't know? Because obviously you sit down, you talk to him, you're around him when he's not on, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like, what's like something that people maybe get confused with Jake and how like nice of a guy he is, or just whatever?
Jake is a very giving and caring person. A lot of times people don't get a chance to see it because they see so many other things and they expect him to be a certain way. And a lot of times he gets judged from his youth, when he was, on Disney, having fun, doing crazy things. But he's not that guy anymore. He's a 27-year-old man.
Okay.
He's grown up, he's developed, and I don't think people really realize that side of it. And then the other side of it, if they haven't figured this part out, Jake's a real dog in there. He's not afraid.
Yeah.
He's not afraid to get hit. He's not afraid to hit, and he will work his ass off. So those are probably the top things that stand out that most people don't understand.
I got you. Now, this interview seemed like it could end up being like an hour-long interview, just because there's so much that you got going on, so much.
Right.
One, I have to kind of dive back into your past just a little bit.
Sure.
The fact that you won the NCAA championships in the 55 and the 110. You won the 110 twice, right? You go back to back.
Well, I won conference multiple times, probably like 5 times.
You're like 5 times.
5-time All-American, multiple national champions in the sport. But that just helped me grow and develop and understand my body and understand how bodies work in order for me to be able to get to where I'm at now. I had a lot of injuries and issues in my career, which forced me to understand that. Me thinking at the time, why me? When the reality of it is, the whole point of me going through that was to be able to have the knowledge to help these other young men and young women.
I got you.
So I'm grateful that I went through those things. I'm also grateful that I understand what high-level competition is.
Yeah, that's
so the mindset that goes along with it. So when we're dealing with these guys and dealing with these young ladies, I know exactly how to position them mentally.
With that being said, being that you were a track guy and the Olympics just passed, and to me, these Olympics were fantastic, especially for Americans, as far as on the track and field side. Right. And you doing hurdles. How about McLaughlin Levrone?
Oh, man.
Like how impressive is she?
Are there words? Are there words to describe what this young? Well, let me say it like this: that's not anything or an event on the track that she can't run. And when I say run, I mean run it at an Olympic level.
That's crazy.
Olympic final level. She's by far one of the biggest gifts God has given us in the world in a long time, along with the Florence Griffin Joyners and those types.
Yeah.
She fits into that mold. She's done a wonderful job, and she has great people and a great team around her. So I expect her to continue to be successful.
And just one more thing with her, because when they showed this on TV during the Olympics, the fact that she was running faster doing hurdles than some people were running without doing hurdles, like as a hurdler, like how does that even sink in?
It doesn't, but I can tell you this much. At this point, she could probably beat me with hurdles around there. But no, she's doing amazing, man. And I think that everyone who's getting the opportunity to watch her need to really process and digest what they're seeing, because it's going to be a long time before we ever see another young lady like her.
And she's like 22 or something like that, which is just crazy.
Still very young, correct.
Which is bananas. So how do you take you running track into training fighters?
It's funny. How I got started, I started training when I retired. I started training other track athletes first.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then from there, I got transitioned into the NFL because guys were like, we need someone to help us with our speed to get ready for the combine.
Gotcha.
And then I started training these NFL guys. And then I got recruited from some NBA agents, wanted me to do some stuff with agility work for them. And it just so happened that at that period of time, I was doing some stuff with Gilbert Arenas. And I came to Vegas because my wife was the head coach at UNLV.
She's the head track coach?
Head track coach, 2-time Olympian. And I was here to see my son. I was living in LA, she was living here. And when I came to the track, I'm just looking at individuals on the track, watching them run, and I see a young man and this guy training together. And the guy looked like he had this very mystique look to him. He had a very distinguished look, but you could tell you didn't want to deal with him. You didn't want no problem with him. Now, his name was Kenny Porter.
Oh, yeah.
You could tell you didn't want any problems. But then he was training this guy who looked like a football player, who was Sean Porter.
Yeah.
I introduced myself to those guys and gave them my information. And about 2 weeks later, they gave me a call and asked me if I could train his son to get ready for a championship he got coming up. Now, mind you, I thought Sean Porter was a football player.
Oh, you didn't even know he was a boxer at the time?
I didn't know who he was.
Wow.
And then the dad, I said, so what position he played? He's a running back. And the dad's like, nah, he played football. He got about 1,000 yards a season.
Yeah.
But no, he's a boxer. And I was like, okay. He says, I want you to work with him. I said, listen, I don't want to mess this kid up.
Yeah.
I've never worked with a boxer before at this point. I've done all these other athletes. And he said, you won't mess him up. Can you get guys in shape? I said, that's what I do. And so we did a couple of workouts. They loved it.
Yeah.
4 months later, Sean becomes world champion.
Wow.
And I never turned back. But here's the thing. What Kenny Porter told me was, come to the gym every day for free.
Okay.
Now, you're talking about a grown man who got kids, house, car notes. I like food.
I got bills, man.
Electricity, water. I like all those things.
Yeah,
so
you like a roof, all that.
But I'm like, it's whatever. So I went every day for free, and I just learned, listened, paid attention. Went to different gyms, from Floyd's gyms to the Hip Factory, which it was at that time, to City Boxing. There was a number of gyms I could go to every day. And I would just listen and learn and take my experience and education from all these other sports for training and tailor it to their particular sport.
Gotcha.
Now that's very important because you can't train boxers like you train NFL guys. You can't train them like you train basketball players. You have to really tailor it to them, combat sports. And so I went a year and a half really without taking another athlete and at the same time going to that gym for free just so I could learn.
Wow.
And then the next person I got was Badu Jack.
Okay.
And we ended up winning some more world titles with Badu
Exactly.
Jack.
You in Abu Dhabi and all. Yeah.
So that kind of how it happened. That's how it ended up. And then about 5 years in, I probably had 5, 6 world titles.
You know, who's counting?
Yeah, right. Not me. You know, but it was important for me to have that growth. You know, God does everything for a reason. And after Badu was Caleb Plant.
Yeah.
And you know, Caleb was coming up in the sport. You know, young guy. I don't know if he was ranked top 15 at that time. I don't think so, but he was real close. And I was like, okay, in 2 years we're gonna get to a world title. 2 years we won a world title. What was earlier than 2 years? Actually.
And the thing that is impressive about it that you don't have to say, that I can say, that a lot of the fighters that you train, they're known for having a gas tank. Like Sean Porter's one of the guys, he never got tired.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Caleb Plant's one of those guys, you never see him getting tired in the ring.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and to this point, Jake Paul was one of the fighters that was known for getting tired.
Yes, he was.
Before you got with him.
Correct.
And I didn't see that in the fight with Tyson.
You know what's crazy, and since Jake has put it out there, I can speak on it. People don't realize Jake almost broke his ankle in camp. He tore 2 ligaments in his ankle during the camp. We didn't get a chance to even really work the last month the way we wanted to. He was on crutches 10 days.
Oh, wow.
In the last month. As a matter of fact, we only got 3 spars in 4 weeks. I was doing everything in the pool and everything on the bike. And he even explained that in one of his interviews, is why I'm bringing it up now. But
yeah,
we worked our ass off in that pool and that bike to try to compensate from not getting spar, from not getting long runs in. We did still do our strength work.
Yeah.
But we couldn't do any squats, any lunges, any of that kind of stuff. So we were able to pull it off. So his cardio held up for that particular fight. But I think that in the future, you're going to see even more.
You're going to see even more. Okay, that's fantastic. So what was it like for you? I talked about you having Hall of Fame fighters when Sean Porter was inducted into the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame. Because I've seen the pictures looking fly, you and the wife out there, and you and got pictures here. But yeah, what was that experience like?
Surreal. I'm gonna try not to get emotional over here.
Go ahead and get
but
zoom in on the eyes.
You know, but it was surreal because it was the first time I trained someone to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, and you never train with the intention of that being the purpose.
Yeah.
You train with the intention of being the best you can possibly be. And I think based on where we were and how Sean, competed in his career, we got the most out of him.
Yeah.
And for him to be able to get inducted into the Hall of Fame was a representation of all his hard work and sacrifice, and us having the opportunity, Kenny Porter and I, and Barry Hunter and Hal Chernoff having the opportunity to help him get those accolades. So it was an honor. Sean is still my nephew.
Yeah.
I still call him at least once, twice a week just to check up on him. But yeah, it was a blessing to be there.
Sean he's a real good brother. I mean,
he is.
He's just a real good dude, right? Like it's almost, I remember when I first met Sean, matter of fact, he sat in that seat, him and Kenny have been in here before. You're almost taken aback with just like how humble he is.
Yeah.
And how, what I mean? He's a world champion, but he's and I see him with different fans walking around arenas and whatnot. Just he's so unassuming, such a good head on his shoulder. Kudos to Kenny.
Yes, absolutely. Kenny
his mother.
Kenny raised this kid and actually brought him up to the ropes and developed him from 4 all the way through to be multiple world champion. That's hard to do.
Yeah.
That's really hard to do.
And they still have a relationship because we've seen the father-son thing go awry in a lot of instances.
And he brought me in, and even in bringing me in, he was very selective on who he was bringing in. And I think the biggest thing is understanding with Sean. Sean works his butt off, but Sean got to get pushed too. He gets pushed a lot, Because in order for him to take his body where we needed to go, people don't just normally want to feel that type of pain. People don't want to feel that type of exhaustion.
No, do not. Okay.
But he definitely works his butt off, and like you said, kudos to Kenny and kudos to Sean. Congratulations to them and the entire team for being inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely. And with that being said, of people being pushed, you're one that you've told me before that you push, and that you have no problem like getting in a boxer's face or getting whoever, just whatever kind of motivation that you have to have in order to get them motivated.
Yes.
Like, where does that come from?
You know, first of all, I have a responsibility. Boxing is different than any other sport you can be part of.
Yeah.
In boxing, you can lose your life.
You literally could.
Your life. Most people have injuries and have problems for two reasons. Either piss poor weight cuts.
Yeah.
Or fatigue and they make mistakes.
Cardio.
So I'm a big part of this kid getting in and out the ring and the responsibility of telling his wife and or his mom or dad why this kid did or did not make it out the ring. I'm not gonna have that responsibility on me for why this kid doesn't make it. So I take what I do very, very seriously. So this is why you see no fear and hesitation in having to press these guys, because you're not gonna have those issues and die on my watch because you're fatigued. It's not gonna be that. I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure you're as fit and as strong as possible, mentally focused as possible, so we walk out victorious. That's it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no other route for us. Right?
This is what's gonna be.
It's what it has to be. It's no option. And then on top of that, I feel like everyone doesn't get second chances.
Yeah.
You get one opportunity, and if you don't take advantage of that one opportunity, you will pay for it because it may not come back around.
Yeah.
This is our chance. This is your chance. This is my chance. What I do is how I feed my family. I'm not going to put myself in a space where I'm not giving 100% every time you see me.
I heard that. Man, I feel motivated. I feel like I've been push-ups that I did before I came out here. I'm ready.
Yeah. So that's a big part of it. That's where it comes from. And I've always been a competitor.
Yeah.
But it's more of a responsibility than just being a competitor. I make sure I commit myself to whomever I'm with. If I can't back you, if I can't really like this person, I'm not gonna take a gig or take a fighter just because it's some money to it. It has to be more to it than that.
Gotta believe in the fighter, whoever you're working with.
And here's the other part, and this is the part that most trainers don't like to say on TV, but I will say it. I don't care if you like me or not. I don't care. Why? Because you may not like the work that I'm having you do. You might not like running up that hill. You might not like being in 100-degree weather. You might not like those push-ups I'm asking you to do, those pull-ups. You might not like that swimming I'm having you do. But you're gonna love me when you make those 7 figures. You're gonna love me when you buy your new house and buy yourself a new car and buy your wife a new car. You're gonna love me when you have a trust fund for your kid so they can get through school. You're gonna love me then. You can like me later. You can like me when this is all over.
I heard that. I know I heard that. Okay. So with that being said, people see the work that you do and they're looking at you now and see the who Larry Wade is.
Yeah.
I mean, we got the hat with the logo, we got the shades. I mentioned it earlier. I haven't seen this, brother. You got both eyes, right?
You know what? Somebody asked me that. Someone asked me in the last camp, Coach, someone told me that you only had one eye. I said, what? And look, just for you guys, I do have both eyes.
Okay, you're not Popeye or nothing like that.
Yeah, no, I still do have both eyes.
Okay.
I just have a light sensitivity, so I keep glasses on because if I don't have them on, I get a headache. So people don't realize I really have to have them. So you'll see me at night in the lights, you're gonna always see the glasses on.
It's not Coach Deion Sanders with the glasses deal? You don't have a glasses deal?
Matter of fact, Deion, listen, you took my identity, man. I'm just gonna go and say it. I had the glasses and the hat going first.
Oh, he did it before.
I did it first.
Prime.
Hey, you just look better at it.
Somebody hasn't sent you Cartier, like we need you to wear
listen,
glasses by Larry Wade?
If they signed it, they bring the deal, I'm signing it. There's not gonna be a question about it.
Okay, I'm getting 10% because I didn't put it out here, right?
Hey, he set it up, make sure you give him 10%. I make sure my manager sees it.
Okay, there we go. So we have the look. What was the I guess the thought process behind that? Meaning that I've always thought, I say this, that I heard this in a rap song. I'm in the public eye, so I try to be an eyeful. You in the public, I took that.
I like it though.
Black
I like
sheep.
it though.
Old
I like
school.
it. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, but I mean, cause you got the shades, you always had a hat. I always see your logo and whatnot.
Yeah, I never really did it to be able to be seen in that capacity. I just always felt like if I'm gonna spend all this money to wear other brands, right? Like the Louis Vuittons and the Gucci's and all these type of things, why wouldn't I put that same value into my own personal brand? Why wouldn't I be as excited to wear my own logos? Mm-hmm. But of course, if anybody's gonna support me, it's gotta be me first. You can't expect other people to support you if you don't even support yourself.
You're not even wearing your own stuff.
So I decided to put more emphasis in growth and love into my brand and what I do as a person. And that's really what it became about. It became about, if I'm gonna wear these other brands, I need to also wear my brand equally as much.
Okay.
Right? So that's what we do.
Okay, and we talked a little bit off camera, but I mean, I think the logo's dope. I think the logo's dope. And the sweatshirts and all of that.
Thank you.
You could have brought a bag, but I mean, where did that where did that come from?
You know what?
The logo and all that.
The logo, it's been a bit of an argument of where this logo was created and how it was created. For all those who are listening to this, which is going to be my wife and my manager, I'm not giving any of you guys credit.
You're taking all the credit.
But no, I had a logo semi together, and we were trying to decide what the logo is. Now this is the new one. This is the company's one. This is the one what my group of trainers use.
Okay.
This is the official one. This is the Coach Larry Wade logo. And so we started it because we wanted to be branded to a sense where we see Nike, we see the Adidas, but we don't know the people really behind it. We just know the logo.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to create a brand and identity that can be seen even if I'm not there, even if I'm not in the vicinity. And I had a situation where it actually has worked out where I was going to Floyd Mayweather's gym and I had a guy come to me and he asked me, what does that logo mean? Whose logo is that? And I was like, it's this guy, he does stuff, right? He didn't know who I was. He said, man, I see it everywhere. I don't know who, I see it. Where is he? Is he here? I said, he's here somewhere. And then as I'm getting ready to leave, like an hour and a half later, he says, hey man, why you didn't tell me that was you? I said, well, I didn't think it was important. As long as you saw the logo, you knew what it stood for, that matters the most. And so that was really the whole purpose behind it.
That's funny. He didn't know it was you.
He did not know.
I mean, the logo is dope. I mean, and that's not just to be saying it, just to be saying it, but the logo is really dope.
I appreciate
it. And then you accentuate it with the jewelry. I mean, I feel like I'm underdressed.
Now,
and I got
anybody who's watching this show, I don't know if y'all can get a close-up look at me. Anybody that's watching this show, have y'all seen this man's attire lately? Have y'all seen the suit selection this man has? Listen, I went to his social media page just to look at the suits. I wanted to see the suits because for those who don't know, I also commentate as well, ESPN and the Fox and a lot of other things. I wanted to get my outfit together. So I was like, what is he wearing? So I went and watched his page. So yeah, that's the thing. We just got to be able to support each other. That's what that's about.
I appreciate that. The check is in the mail. That was my Magic Johnson. I appreciate that. And you bringing up, I can tell you doing television work because that's a segue. You didn't set me up for this.
Look at that.
You've been doing commentating. You don't just train, but I remember talking to you before your very first one. And you were talking about you're going to be getting into doing like color analyst work and everything else. Obviously, you talk well. You've done a million interviews. Like, why the heck not do that? How has that been for you?
You know what? Listen, I'm going to tell you the first time I ever did it, and this is important for all those who want an opportunity. I was trying to get into commentating for a couple of years. And I tried every angle in which I thought was going to work and didn't work. And so it just got to the point where I had someone give me a chance. I had Sean Porter commentating, and he had spoke to the producer, and he says, hey, Larry Wade wants to have an opportunity to commentate. This was for Fox Sports 1. And he says, well, he does all these motivational speaking. He's good at what he does, and podcast, things of that nature. They looked at videos, and then he said, we'll let him come in and do it, but he's doing it for free. He's going to do it for free. He's going to pay for his own hotel room, and he's going to pay for his own flight. And if he's willing to do that, we'll give him 2 rounds on the undercard.
Wow.
2 rounds. And I flew to the fight, and I did the 2 rounds. And then they were like, would you like to stay on for the next 2 rounds? Because it was a 4-round fight.
Yeah.
I said yes. And then after that round was over, I was ready to go to the back, and they was like, hey, would you like to stay on for the TV time? Because at this point, we weren't even on TV. We were doing
I know exactly.
We were streaming it right on YouTube.
Like a mug.
So I did the first fight, which was like a 4-rounder, and then I did the second fight, which was the co-main event. Now, I was supposed to be gone by this time.
Yeah.
But by the end of the co-main event, I had to leave because
you already had something scheduled.
I was the main event.
Oh, you were
My guy was the main event, so I had to go work the corner in order to win the main event. It was for a junior title. So it was a great event. And from that point forward, they were like, hey, we like you. We want you to do more work. And then it's just kind of happened since then.
He's like, I tried to told you.
Yeah, I tried to told you, but listen, for all those listeners, you got to give up something. You're going to have to sacrifice something. If you really want to be great at something, you got to really bet on yourself. I was willing to put the money behind me for the flights, for the hotel, just to get 2 rounds. I didn't even know if it was going to end up with me actually being on TV and doing it.
Yeah.
But I was willing to invest. So if you want a chance to be successful in anything, no matter what it is, you have to give up something. You got to give up your time. You got to give up your energy. You're going to have to really commit to it. Even the first year I boxed, and I kind of tried to figure this out. The first year I boxed, as you guys may have heard earlier, I was going to the gym for free.
Yeah.
In boxing only, at that time, I probably made in the first year $13,000.
Man. That's not a lot for a guy who.
I
mean, you got that on you right now. Yeah. I mean, I get
it. Yeah, things have changed a little bit. But I started out with about 13,000, man. And you talking about a guy who has kids. I had 2 kids at the time, cars, houses that I need to pay for. So I had to do a lot of other hard work on the side in order to make it. But I was willing to gamble on myself in this area. And then it just kind of grew up from there. But if y'all want to be successful, trust me, you got to give up a lot of time and energy. But if you put it in, the only thing that can stop you is you.
Nah, see, not only did we bring you here to tell your story, but also do some motivational speaking. And I can't pay you for that. But
hey, I can't help it. It's part of who I am now. You know?
No, I appreciate. I tell kids that all the time. An internship will make or break you in this field as far as like what I do.
Absolutely.
Doing it for free and learning how to do something and giving it a trial run and learning from folks that are doing it already that's the best way. If you can do that, you'll find a job, you'll get your job. You put that motivation.
Someone's going to give you a chance. As long as you continue to go forward, someone's going to give you a chance. You just can't stop.
I can appreciate that. And with that being said, you mentioned this Larry Wade Day.
Yes.
Your own, the brother got his own day. He got his own money. He got his own day.
Yeah, you know, it was a blessing for, Councilman Creer to award me or acknowledge me and give me Coach Larry Wade Day. It was a situation where, I commit a lot to the community. I have a lot of youth that I'm involved with and me trying to financially support some of the programs they have going on. And I was getting a Crystal Safety Award from the House of Champions, and they decided they also wanted to award me with Larry Wade Day for December 15th, which is coming up here soon.
Congratulations, by the way, man. That's a beautiful thing.
I appreciate it. So it's an honor, but the way my mind works is, what's next? That's the way it is. I was grateful for it, and I enjoyed it. To be, awarded for something that you just do because you want to.
Yeah.
You're
not doing it for the accolades.
Right. This is what you're going to do anyway, regardless of if they give you the award or not. I'm still going to do the same things. But also to be able to say, what else can I do now?
Yeah.
That's key. What else can I get done?
Man, and with that being said, what else can you, because obviously you always, like you said, you always looking forward. Like, what else can you do? Like, what is on the horizon? Obviously, you're not going to stop working with Jake Paul because, if you did that, I'd be like, hold up, Larry, that's not a smart move.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Having Jake as a client and as an athlete and as a friend is great because he understands his responsibility and I understand mine. And if we're able to grow together in certain areas, we do. For example, W brand, which is in stores now at Walmart, the body spray, the deodorant. And
is that his or?
That's his, but we are.
Yeah. I see the smile coming out.
We're also, part of that company as well.
Man,
so
where is the bag?
That's where it's at. That's where it's at. So we were able to be part of that. Jake gave the coaches a percentage of it and allowed us to be part of that journey as well.
Okay.
Because, like he said, as long as he's winning, we can continue to do what we're doing. And so he brought us in. And I'm grateful for that. So, that's working well for us at this point. We have a new sauna suit business coming up that's actually getting released this month for all those who are trying to get in shape for the new year.
Yeah.
So, Premier Body and sauna suit. So that's the next thing that's being released. But for the city, you just never know. I keep hearing these words of me getting into politics. I don't know yet. We'll see.
Wow.
We'll
you
see.
Getting into your wife, as you said, that she's an accomplished coach. She's the AD at CSN, correct?
She is the athletic director at CSN.
So, you guys are power couple, couple.
Thank you.
But running for, really?
Listen, I'm going to tell you, it's so interesting because a lot of my fraternity brothers, I'm in Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated.
Okay.
And
Alpha Stand, I think we have No, we don't have alpha here. Go ahead.
So that being said, a lot of my brothers are athletes in politics here. And in the last 2 years, I've been on one of the board for the NAACP for health and wellness.
Okay.
So, I've been trying to get back in that area as well. So that might be the move. I'm not sure. I'm not pushing for it, just like I wasn't pushing for any of the things I've done. I just worked at it. If it happens and the community needs me and I can fill the void of any kind, I will.
Man, Coach Larry Wade. Goodness. One last thing. Jake needs like a personal commentator, doesn't he? I mean, he needs.
Jake has listen, people don't realize, even though Jake is a big time athlete, right?
Yeah.
And has all these different businesses that he's part of and he owns and he runs. Jake also has a big support staff with the content crew and managers that he has. We have at least, I would say, 15 to 20 people around us at all times, every day.
Just doing all kinds of stuff.
And taking pictures and coming up with creative ideas. These guys, and I have to applaud the content team, these guys are amazing. When I say amazing, they're so creative.
Yeah.
They've even allowed me to be creative and get out of some of my ways and have fun. And for example, I wasn't a shoe head. I didn't care about Nikes and things of that nature. But I got on some regular shoes.
Okay.
But they are, and they explain to me why it's so important in their culture and what they do. And they also come with all these great ideas that are so much fun that maybe I wouldn't do if I was in any other camp. Because the other camps are so hard-nosed serious sometimes that it kind of takes the fun away. With Jake, he came up with, hey, let's do a two-step dance. And I'm like, for what? Just cause we want to do it. And he had us doing dancing in camp, and we were dancing in the night before the fight.
Didn't you guys? No, he didn't. He came out on a car. That's
he
right.
Came out on a car. But before that, in the dressing room,
I remember
we were dancing in the back. We were doing like this little two-step dance he created, which was a lot of fun. Most fighters aren't in that space. So he's definitely stimulated that to happen. The content team is a big part of that. So, it definitely takes what they call a village to raise a kid, and he has a huge village around it.
Okay, all right. Man, so was it worth the wait?
Which part?
Coming in studio.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, I harassed this man forever.
I don't know about harassing this man.
I didn't have the cool suit like he had. All I had was a sweater. So I guess in order to be in these chairs, you got to have one of those cool ties or whatever. But I'm grateful to be here, brother. I'm super proud of everything you're doing. You're making a huge impact to the city, and everybody knows it that's watching you. I like to see you doing your work with the Raiders as well. And not only just the Raiders, I see you at all the ladies basketball games as well.
Yeah.
You're doing your thing, man. I'm so proud of you. Just keep doing that. And as long as you're doing that, we're going to always see each other.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm going to be playing that over and over and over. We got to get the promo department on that.
Absolutely.
Coach Larry Wade, the man has his own day. He got his own day. December 15th?
December 15th.
There we go. I appreciate you coming in,
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.